Do you believe Jesus and God are the same?
I don't know what you mean the same. He's not the Father, no?
All right.
Just like when I ask you to help you understand, is the Quran and Allah the same?
No.
So, but the Quran is uncreated, right?
Yes.
So, and Allah is uncreated, right?
Yes.
So, Allah is uncreated. Quran is not Allah. The Quran is uncreated. 1 + 1 is 2. So, you have 2 uncreated?
That's conflating.
That's what?
Conflating.
How am I conflating? You said Quran is not Allah.
Yeah. It's the
And
world.
if it's not Allah, it's uncreated, right?
Me speaking to you right now, is that part of me?
Well, it's not you, right?
It's not me. It's not part of me. It's just me using communications.
No, but it's not you. You're not your word. You're more than your word. You're also a body. You have hair. You have eyes, unless you're bald, right?
Sure.
Now, you just proved the Trinity. Let me tell you why. You said the Quran is not Allah, but it's part of Allah, and yet they're still distinct, right?
Sure.
Because the Quran is not Allah, so they're distinct but inseparable from Allah, right?
Sure.
And yet they're still one, right?
You're not one.
So the Quran is separate from Allah, so it's not one with Allah.
No, it's not one with Allah.
Oh, so then now you just destroyed the union, because if it's not one with Allah, then it's separate from Allah. Now you have 2. So make up your mind.
I feel like you're conflating.
What? I'm going by your logic. Okay, so if the Quran is part of Allah, then it's one with Allah because it's from Allah and inseparable from Him. So it's unified. It's united. It's not separate. You can't separate them because they're inseparable, right?
I never said they're the same.
I know you didn't say the same. You said it's a part of Allah. So if it's part of Allah, then it's inseparable from Allah. So that's why I say it's one with Allah.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said like your word is a part of you. You remember you gave that analogy?
I said it was not the order of me. You said that it is the order of us.
Okay, so when you speak, why'd you say, okay, when I'm speaking to you, what were you trying to use that analogy for?
Okay, I'm speaking right now, right? Is my words me? Are they literally like as a whole me?
If they're literally you. That means all you are your words. So you're not a body, you're not hair, you're not eyes. Are you saying Allah is only His word? So Allah is only the Quran?
No.
So then what are you saying by the analogy? So your words can't be you in the sense that you're not just words, you're more than words. You have a body, you have hair. And Allah is not just His word. He also has other sifat, right? Other names.
Yeah. And then names.
So what are you saying then about your words and you? Because you're using it as an analogy to Allah.
Even if I didn't have words, I would still be me.
Yeah, but Allah, if He has no speech, then that means He was defective. That means He couldn't speak. He was mute. So then He had to perfect Himself later? What?
You can say that about your God, right?
No, I'm saying you just use that as an analogy. Did I?
No, you're saying if my God could not speak, He would be mute. That's
because you're saying if you don't have your words, you're still you. So you're saying Allah can be Allah without His word?
Yes.
Man, you don't know your religion. You just committed blasphemy. Don't take my word for it. Go ask your sheikh or mashayikh. Say, would Allah be Allah without His speech? They'll say, astaghfar Allah, because His speech are uncreated and they're not separable from Allah. You're blaspheming, buddy. I'm trying to help you out. You're getting angry at me.
I'm not getting angry.
Okay. You cannot say, as a Sunni Muslim, I'm teaching you. Don't take my word for it. Go after this. Go ask your sheikh or mashayikh or scholar. Can I say Allah can exist without His kalam, without His speech? They'll say no, because the sifat, attributes of Allah, are uncreated, inseparable from Him. So Allah could never exist without His speech. So you can't say that, buddy. So, but at the same time, the Muslims will say the sifat are not Allah, but they're not other than Allah. That's what Muslims say. I didn't make it up. So again, don't take my word for it. Say, is it true that Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah say the attributes of Allah are not Allah, but they're not other than Allah? Meaning, no attribute of Allah is identical to Allah, because Allah is more than the attributes, but you cannot separate them from Allah. That's Islamic Sunni Theology 101 I'm teaching you. So that's what I'm trying to get at. The word of Allah is not the same as Allah, but it's not separate from Allah, because Allah is one with His attributes. You can't separate them. And that word is the Quran. So what you believe about the Quran is what we believe about Jesus. So let me explain to you what we believe about Jesus. We believe Jesus is the uncreated word of the Father, that He is Kalam Allah, using Arabic, right, who became flesh. You believe Kalam Allah became Kitab, a book. So your view of the Quran is our view of Jesus. And just like you would say, yeah, just because Allah and the Quran are distinct and the Quran is not the same as Allah, but you can't separate from Allah, and Allah is one with His word, so we still have one. That's what we're saying. The Father and His word, the eternal word, are inseparable. The Father always exists with His word, and that word is who became flesh, and He became a man. We're saying the same thing. The only difference is you're saying the word became a book. We're saying no, the word became man.